Good morning all, this is Darth Ravage 07 coming to you today with another quick review. While I was down in Wilmington over the weekend for Parents Weekend, we had a tropical storm in the area and I got lucky and had a couple of finds. This is one of 3 Transformer finds. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all those things down below. Thanks again to all those who have subscribed. Let's turn this around, take a look at my find. Thank you again for watching. This morning on the turntable I've got none other than Cyberverse Universe Shadow Striker, and for all intents and purposes till they do the retool and repaint, this will be my stand-in for Car Robots in Disguise 2001 Cyberverse. And that's a look at the artwork on the side of the box. I just have not watched any of the Cyberverse stuff, and this just screams Cyberverse without the flames. So let's get this guy out of the box, but real quick, have a free scan on me and also have a free scan on me. Hope that helps you find this in stores. Target's getting stuff in. You might want to check your Targets, as I found this guy in Trashmaster of that new stuff, and this is the only new figure of that wave, with Strong Arm being a retool of Elite 1, and then Bombshell being a retool of Shrapnel. So let's get this guy out of the box and see how cool he really is. Thanks again. We have the warning in 26 languages. We have the instructions, and like I said, the only new tool of that whole wave is this guy, and it was every intent and purpose supposed to be Cyberverse, it looks like. So hopefully we're going to get a Robots in Disguise 2001 Prowl and X-Brawn in the not too distant future. Hopefully a brand new mold like this and not a retool. But I see this guy being retooled with the flames for Cyberverse. Hopefully not in an exclusive package. But then here's the box that Shadow Striker strung up on with the plastic core Cybertron and the tissue paper doobie. That this is just sloppy. Wish this would go bye-bye. I hope that we get a box within a box that has a weapons cache going on. All that said and done, let's get him free. And there she is on the turntable. And please forgive me, I did some studying today. I actually just listened to some video while I was doing my route and got up to speed. Thanks to Chris McFeely for putting together that excellent Cyber Striker retrospective. Basically what had happened that I kept on getting it mixed up is that they did a BotCon version of this and did another one of those of the same Cyberverse kind of retool remold. It was the first set of, if I'm not mistaken, the BotCon was the first version, was the change the head tool and kept the body of Cyberverse, and they did it again, had roulette, so you had these two characters. Anyway, long story short, it was a BotCon exclusive, spun off, and now it's got some steam and some popularity, especially in the Cyberverse, and she reminds me a whole lot of Black Arachnia, but is also Bumblebee's nemesis in Cyberverse. So all that said and done, she's really, really awesome, and she does come with 3 pieces that, you know, can be swapped in or swapped around. Right here on her arm, you got the bumper piece that gives her the Frankenstein kind of esque look, and she's all one color, but she has other pieces, so you can like do the Frankenstein kind of thing and have that asymmetry of the bumper of the back end of the car mode that actually fits into this dagger weapon gun blaster thing. So then you can like take and do this and combine it to look like Cyberverse's old weapon there. And she doesn't have her long range sniper rifle that I saw in the cartoon, which is kind of a bummer, but with this you can add a blast effect, sort of to kind of get that pew pew bang bang thing going on, and it kind of, well, this actually is not flopping out, so you can put it back in hand and have Shadow Blast or Shadow Striker from Cyberverse blasting away, and that just looks kind of cool in and of itself there. I just kind of wish that she and other figurines would get blast effects for the price that these things are costing these days. I do believe they deserve their own little blast effects to come with them. And that's the other thing I really do like about this mold. Outside the one negative I have is this is all clear plastic. I wish it would be one solid piece of plastic, kind of like the rest of the body. and be painted with the windows and the stuff, because that's actually the top of the car. It's actually like a blast shield. And then, so you got the gun and the bumper and the blast shield. That was your 3 accessories there. But let's get this gal de-weaponized and go through the articulation, because this one has some pretty neat stuff when it comes to the arms. My second negative, before we get into the articulation with the gal, is that this isn't an articulated kind of deal, but this should have had a pin through it, because this just pops off at nothing. See, there's a pin there. They could have done a pin through there and kept it all together one piece. But hopefully a third party will come along, make this a solid piece of plastic, and then we can add the red details, like with some repro labels or something like that. So then we have a more solid shield. And depending on how you transform it, you can either do it like this or like this for the car mode, as it will sit down and latch in and all that. Anyway, I think this could be done better. I don't like this, and over time I just feel that the paint that's on here is nicely done. Will get chipped and marred as you have play, but oh well. Let me get into that articulation with oh my gosh, Shadow Striker. The thing that I really do like is how solid she feels throughout. And you got this little cape thing, skirt kind of deal going on there. I don't know if you can put anything in there, but that is like the other kind of thing that I don't like, is the way that they did the inner rims. Wished it would be red along the same color as this, but that's okay. That articulates, and you can articulate it up even more and kind of get that going on in the back, but then it sticks out like that. So I'm kind of good of it being like a trench coat, since it is a lady and not a dude. Let's skin in on that head and look at those monocle targeting stuff. It's kind of the Frankenstein kind of stuff going on with her. In the show, it did have these other little dots here. I'm going to try to point them out there. Boom and boom. Those were red, just like this little dot right here. And that's where it kind of reminded me of like a black arachnid kind of thing going on there. But all the same, nice chest detail, what have you there, and that articulation. I think the head can go all the way around, and no light piping and a screw there. So, but anyway, you get that, and you do get some wiggle waggle, but no like attitude, unless you turn the head sideways, and then you get the same kind of axis there that you have from it being straight up and go you got that going on. It's kind of aggravating, because they did a really neat thing here at the shoulders. You can get it to go up on a pivot. It's locked into this back piece here to where you can go all the way up like that, and you got your upper bicep still. You got the 90 at the elbow, or almost 90 at the elbow. You do got your wrist swivel, which thankfully they just didn't cheap out and get that to just be locked into place. It's kind of hollow still, just a little bit, but not as, it still feels like really durable, like plastic that she is made out of throughout, except for this piece right here. This is the flimsiest part, in my opinion. Get on with the rest of this. Going down the way there, you can like fold these back out of the way. You can get all the way around at the bottom there, and that kind of raised up there while I was doing that. You can go that far forward with that leg articulation at the hip. You can go back. I do believe you can get the full van damage, and the arms do go out the side. That's so cool, man, the way they did the shoulders on this, to where she didn't lose it and still retains that articulation. That's, I hope, a lesson learned that they apply for any other figures that have this kind of unique setup, that they still retain it. You do get the full van damage with this lady of power. And there's those daggone mushroom pegs I can't stand, like with the wheels. So that's the only downfall I got with the vehicle mode and the robot mode, is the way that looks. It's kind of gaudy. But upper thigh swivel, you got 90 at the knee, it looks like. That does not articulate there, but then the foot doesn't go, but like this on a deep rocker. And I don't think it does anything else. It doesn't fold up or nothing else. So that's kind of a bummer. Or actually it might, oh, it goes like this due to the transformation. So you do get a wide range of poses that you can get in there with her. And I really do dig this lady of the hour. Can't wait for the obvious redo into Sideburn, and then probably a powered up sideburn with the power up colors, and it's going to be neat to see how they move forward with that. And whenever they do, I hope that they also give us X-Brawn and Prowl from Robots in Disguise Car Robots. It's either, in America, it's Robots in Disguise 2001, which is based off of Car Robots 2000 in Japan. Poorly dubbed, but I'd like to see that show get a proper dubbing with good writing. But anyway, that's just so 23 years ago, literally. So I'd like to also see the Rail Racer crew get a stab at this, but let's get back into this girl here. She is awesome, and I wouldn't mind having another version of her that keeps that head, but then that gives it the appropriate show accurate paint, and maybe since she's like things gets asymmetrical. I like this one because it does got symmetry, but she is asymmetrical with each rebuild and retool, and then she doesn't like try to revert back to this. She kind of keeps all her stuff and keeps moving on forward to this spot. The loss of the limbs or abilities and stuff, and she was actually built by Shockwave with the spare body pieces when she had a fight with Bumblebee and got blown up. So it's kind of neat, the whole arc there, that kind of thing, if you follow it. So that's about enough for the robot mode, and I believe you can do it like Cyberverse and gear her up accordingly. I do wish that she had the little red daggers that she could have had like fit in the inside somewhere, or somewhere in the back there, even, you know, pegging in when she's not utilizing them. But she had two daggers there. Cyberverse actually had a dagger that actually became part of the weapon and whatnot, and it also, if I'm not mistaken, had like a fire missile, which none of that's there. That's why you can actually plug in a blast effect if you're a little bit better skilled than I am at putting this stuff together. You can have her blasting away like that, or you can do this other really cool configuration, kind of Frankenstein it, kind of like Megatron, have it up on there and have it blasting away. But she is really, really cool all the same. I really do like this. Can't wait for it to be the obvious Cyberverse. And then let's take a look at this little lady in vehicle mode in 3, 2, 1, and there's Shadow Striker in her car mode. And I really do like this thing a whole lot. I like that there's a small gap in between underneath the shield there, that you can put the gun back down in there and not have it sticking up in the hole on the top of the car. And another thing cool with that being there, you can also give her that effect that makes her look like she's going fast down the way there. So that's really, really cool that this can be added in there, and just looks really, really awesome. Looks really sleek and fast. The only thing, like I said before, that kind of is a downside is this should have been red in the middle there. I might just do it up in black, and because I like the red the way it sticks out there. But looks a little kind of funny in the front, and you got that little bit of a spoiler kind of kick thing going on in the back. But outside of that, very slick, rolls really, really good, and is a solid piece. I really do like this a lot more, and very, very anticipating the eventual Cyberverse retool, repaint. They kind of keep that thing. That's definitely a Cyberverse kind of deal there. And you can see her head there, but you can also turn the head around and have it hidden away. The conversion, the transformation conversion is so cool and neat. And even though it looks like it's underhanging a lot, it does roll really, really good. That's the one big plus with the tires there. And it might be a little bit gappy because of the spoiler with the gun kind of thing. I'll just pull it back out just to see something real quick. It doesn't really matter if you have the gun in or out. It kind of just sticks up like that anyway, unless I just got something ever so slightly out of alignment. It just does not want to stay down tabbed at all. So that might be the other negative there. I just wish that didn't have that gappage. But anyway, it's just a goofy toy and really, really freaking slick and awesome. And oh, just for prosperity, we can do it like a thruster, where you can spin around and add a blast effect and have Shadow Striker spanking the Autobots that way. Kind of wish there was a Decepticon symbol right there. I'm going to have to go find my repro labels and see if I can get it on up there for her. She's really, really cool, guys. I really do like this girl a lot. Let's get her back into robot mode for some final thoughts. Some final thoughts here with this obvious Cyberverse pre-tool of Shadow Striker. Asymmetry is the name of the game here, but it's done way better than its old Car Robots in Disguise counterpart. I like the engineering on this for the most part. I love that you can also store that weapon up on a peg hole there, and it doesn't have it over here, but I mean, you can at least store that there. You can store it in the back, and then just for even more fun effect, you can outfit a beam saber in her hand with the blast effect. I think that looks really, really dope too. I really do like this figure a lot, even though right here on the knee that this little tab broke off into the knee is now this right knee is the only one that actually clicks into place. Just a word of warning, I keep waiting for that just to break off into that little tab spot there, but it's not necessary, 110% necessary for the transformation. It just makes it a little bit nicer that it would stay together there, but it already on first transformation snapped on mine, but this is still not a downer. You get a lot of articulation, you get a lot of play factor, and it is a upcoming popular character from the Cyberverse universe. Yep, Cyberverse universe. And I highly like this a lot more than I anticipated. I'm so glad I picked her up even with the shortcomings that I mentioned, and I highly recommend to anybody that is a fan of Shadow Striker from the Cyberverse universe. So tongue twist, mouthful, what have you. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thank you again for your time this evening, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this figure as much. It's the only one of her wave that has an original transformation and that kind of thing. Everybody else is retools. Have a wonderful day until all are one, guys.